I'm calling the meeting to order of the Utility Service Board of Monday, March 27th. The first item on the agenda is to approve the minutes from our March 13th meeting. Are there any questions on the minutes? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Right. The motion passes for the approval of the minutes. Next is the approval of our claims. So the first are the standard claims, the standard invoices with an amount of $406,699.96. Are there any questions on the standard invoices? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The utility bills for a total of $288,749.93. Any questions on the utility bills? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item are the wire transfers for a total of $393,571.17. Are there any questions about the wire transfers? Hearing none, if there's a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor of approving the wire transfers say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The last of the claims is for the customer refunds. For the wastewater funds, total of $1,028.61. Are there any questions on that? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Our next item is the approval of the consent agenda, and that is Vic Gilson.
Good evening, everyone. Vic Kelson, Utilities Director. I'm happy to bring the consent agenda for tonight. The first item is to Breakaway Performance Group LLC, $20,000. It's called On-Call Management Training. The second item is BBC Pump and Equipment Company for $4,989. This is related to Transfer Pump 1 at the Monroe plant. I would like to point out that I know that I spoke with President Burnham today, and she indicated that we would want to take item A off of the consent agenda and consider it separately. So if there's no opposition, item B to BBC Pump and Equipment Company will be approved as recommended by staff. Hearing no opposition, item B is approved as recommended by staff. I wasn't here at the last meeting. I apologize. I could have explained what item A is. It's not really, it is management training, but it's not management training the way you think of management training. It's really more of a managerial job coach. We have a lot of people in our organization that are in relatively new roles, handling lots of complicated situations, and HR had recommended in one particular instance that we hire a job coach for one of our employees. And after thinking about it, we thought, well, actually, it would be good to have a job coach available in an on-call arrangement. So we don't know how much of this we'll use, but it gives us the additional capability when one of our managers comes up against a really complicated situation, a complicated leadership situation. It gives them some confidential person that they can talk to with the challenges that they're facing to try and work it through. So that's what that actually is. Happy to answer any questions.
I think that, go ahead. Was it Kirk or Jim down there? Jim?
Yeah. So Vic, this has to do with more interpersonal and conflict issues than it does to have to do with technical training.
Precisely. This is more, it's very much oriented towards interpersonal interactions, yes.
I think that clarifies it for the board. So, and I appreciate you getting that extra information to us, and glad that you're here to explain it to us. And everybody deserves a vacation. I know you were on vacation, so it's all right.
I
So
picked a bad day.
on this, then, so do we approve this now as a separate item? Okay.
Yes, you still have the motion and a vote.
Okay, so is there a motion to approve the Breakaway Performance Group LLC on-call management training expenditure at a maximum of $20,000 per year?
So moved.
Any discussion?
Oh, is there any further discussion? My apologies.
Yeah, well, no, that's all right. We got the good staff report there, and I thought, Vic, how do we go about picking an executive coaching firm? I don't know where these folks are from, and
Well, actually, this is a group of people who work with, who've got a lot of experience with cities and utilities. It was actually found by the HR department.
are they in the state, or do they come and do this
It's
type of
th-
coaching
this-
in person, or is it
This will
all
be done remotely, yes.
virtual?
Yep,
Okay. And so then this is not to exceed this amount then?
that's right.
Your thought is that it would be available to director and assistant director level positions?
And other managers as well, if we've got a particularly complicated situation. I think assistant directors would probably be where we start, helping with, we just like any organization, we have some rough edges to work out, and we have difficult situations that come up. So,
Okay, thank you.
Are there any further questions? No? Okay, so now that we, the motion, we'll put the motion
I'll make
back
a
on the
motion.
table. Okay, so,
To approve the contract with Breakaway Performance Group for $20,000.
all right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thanks, Vic.
thank you.
The next item is a request for an agreement for services with Air Gas Specialty Products, and that is Matt Havey.
So this is another one of those companies that we're working with through the reverse auction that we did in last December for chemicals for the plants. I believe this is the last one, but there might be one more. So this just, again, it's the same process that we followed before. We're just getting the contract finalized.
Are there any questions? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Right, motion passes. Item number 6 on the agenda is the request for the approval of the agreement for services with Green Dragon Lawn Care, and that's James Hall.
Hi, James Hall, T&D. This is a contract for $114,764. It will cover mowing the 3 plants and 20 lift and booster stations throughout our system 26 times, approximately 26 times throughout the summer and mowing season. Last year, just in T&D alone, we spent a little over $40,000 in seasonal help to do this, plus mowing expenses, and we had an accident with the mower that kind of ruined it. And so we thought that when we reached out to see bids and kind of see where we were at, and we thought with this number, we couldn't pass it up. And so that's why we're recommended. We've always had trouble recruiting seasonal help to the plants to do this, and so we've had to use full-time help, taking away what they normally do to get out and mow. And so that's why we're bringing this contract now.
Are there any questions? Jim?
So you did seek bids from
Yes, sir.
various-
Yeah, I put out 5. I sent it to 5 different places. I got 3 back. This one, the next one was 172 something, and then another one was 212.
Okay, and this is a local, I mean, within,
Somewhat local. They have won the Parks Department bid 2 years in a row now, I think, 2 or 3 years in a row, and Parks has never had any complaints with their performance. So I felt comfortable with how low their bid was compared to the other ones and being able to perform the work based on that.
What happens to the equipment that we have, that we previously used for these types of jobs?
Well, we'll keep one in the mowers. We had 2. We'll keep one. We'll see if we can use it somewhere else, or we can auction it or sell it to one of the other city departments that may need it. We will keep it for things that we need, one of them anyway, but yeah, so.
Gotcha.
this is actually just more of a, I don't know, technical question. What is our threshold before we see the bids?
150.
Okay, gotcha. All right, I just want to make sure. I was a little confused by that, so we're good. All right. Are there any other questions?
I guess I would just say a comment, like, I know that sounds a lot like mowing yards, but for my neighborhood, I'm on the HOA board, and we put out bids just to mow our neighborhood, and we had a wide range of bids, but thinking about what we're paying and then doing the 3 sites, and when I first saw the contract, there's like 3 sites, but then the additional 20 lift stations, then that, I think that's a very fair bid, and I'm glad that that they'll be helping us out this year.
Yeah, I think Blucher is around 4-something acres. Monroe is almost 9, 8 something, and I can't remember. Dillman is 20-something maybe of mowing. That's like actual mowing just in those 3. So
I think that's worth the money, so thank you.
Yeah, Kirk.
Winston Thomas these days.
that's part of those
That's in
20.
here?
That's probably one of the 20 T&D
There you
categories.
go.
Is part the south half of Winston Thomas on Gordon Pike there. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Any other questions? All right. Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved?
Second.
All those in favor of approving the agreement with Green Dragon Lawn Care, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Jane Fleeg with a bid opening, and she was kind enough to provide us with some sheets here to record everything. This is the bid opening for the public invitation to bid on the Fullerton Pike Phase 3 water main relocation.
That is correct. We received 3 bids before the deadline today. I had 4 on here because there were 4 contractors that actually attended the mandatory pre-bid meeting, but one of them did not prepare a bid evidently. So we'll start with Kreider and Kreider. We have a total bid price of $607,376.70. $607,376.70. The next one is Milestone. I have to find it. Okay. Now you got all your securities up front. There it is. Milestone has an amount of $584,310. $584,310. Thank you. And the last one is Reed and Sons. Their total bid price is $426,386. $426,386. And I put on the tabulation sheet the engineer's estimate. That was with a 10% contingency. But these bids look really good for us. So I will get these to our engineer for review, make sure that we have all the forms that we need, and hope to have a recommendation at the next board meeting.
Are there any questions for Jane? Kirk?
Remind us, is this have to do with the county road project?
That is correct.
Okay. So that would That connects with Fullerton to
So
the,
all the way Fullerton
to the east.
to, approximately the roundabout that they constructed at Rogers and Gordon Pike. So this is a long phase of it, but it'll go all the way to Fullerton across undeveloped area.
and we've
Our
got,
water mains do not extend that far. We're actually more in the neighborhood, the Eagle View neighborhood, but,
but we're relocating, we're not extending, we're,
correct. We're
Okay.
relocating. We have had a couple of interested parties contact us about extending the water main. And we've explained that that would be that would be their expense. It's not the city that would do that. But to contact the county, because during road construction is the time to do it. So,
be less expensive time, wouldn't it?
so we've pointed a few people toward the county to see if that would be a possibility.
Okay, thanks.
Any further questions? All right, thank you, Jane.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda then is any old business. Is there any old business from the board? Any old business from staff? New business from the board? New business from staff? Subcommittee reports. I know the engineering subcommittee met this evening. Seth, do you have a report?
Phil Peden gave a presentation on, get it right here, the sewer capacity preparedness plan. Basically, there is a large plan of studies for, sorry, Phil, to have flow meters dictate the water, the amount of water for new, what's the word I'm looking for? Development, thank you. New developments, and possibly, probably, have the developers pay their percentage of the cost that goes along with that. So this is a work in progress, but it's a nice plan that we have moving forward.
Does anyone have questions of either Seth or of Phil? Great. Thanks, Seth. Next is our staff reports.
Vic Kelson, Utilities Director. Again, we have, I'd like to welcome two new employees, Blake McClintock. He's a heavy machine operator in the environmental division working on green infrastructure. And Adam Hutzler, who is a TPT landscape specialist at Dillman. We also have two employees who have completed their DSL certification. It's Paul Edwards, a specialized crew leader in T&D, and Brad Elkins, also a specialized crew leader in T&D. So we've been very aggressively pursuing the DSL licensing lately. We had more than 20 employees in T&D studying to take the test, and they're gradually getting scheduled to take it. So we wish everyone lots of luck. Couple of other things, just an update on the procedures and the whole trajectory of exploring the possibility of a new facility at the Winston Thomas property. We are continuing to work on what we had talked about before. We are still awaiting a professional appraisal of this building from the people in the legal department because we want to have a pretty solid number about what assumptions we make there. And so we will not be bringing an item to you on the today. We didn't bring it today in preparation for taking it to council next month. So it's going to be another month or so before we're ready to consider that. I did speak with President Burnham today, and I will be providing you with a little sort of a flow chart with an X on it that says where we are to explain all the different kinds of steps and places that there would be requests for approvals on the way to considering such a project. So I'll have that for you for the next meeting. And then the last thing is that last week we hosted the regional Indiana Finance Authority meeting with utilities. This meeting it's required that you go to one a year. You can't apply for SRF money, and also people who come get their program professional development hours accounted for. So we had a small group. It was a very good conversation, about 10 people, very good discussion about the different financing vehicles that the IFA has related to major projects, water main replacement, that sort of thing. It's mostly SRF, state revolving fund financing of projects. So it was a good conversation. And Nolan Hendon from our group gave a real nice presentation about water loss auditing and how it works and what it really means. So it was a good meeting. And that's all I have.
Great.
Happy to answer any questions.
All right.
Question about the appraisal. So you said City Legal's handling that? Yes. And how many different appraisals are we getting?
I don't know that.
Do you know, Chris?
To my knowledge, the controller's office is actually the one that's doing the appraisal, but they're using, Larry Allen is the attorney in our department who staffs the controller's department. So in speaking with Larry Allen, I was left with the impression that they're only getting one appraisal.
And how's that appraisal, how's the appraiser selected then? What's the criteria? I mean,
Which appraiser did they select?
how did they decide on an appraiser? Yeah, I mean, this is important to us. These appraisals do vary.
They have several appraisers that they use, and Larry generally likes to use the ones that tend to be the most competent, reliable, and prompt. And so out of all of the appraisers that they have used, they're winnowed down to a couple that they like to use. I didn't ask what selection criteria he might have used to decide who's going to do the appraisal for this building.
Okay.
If you'd like for me to inquire about that, I'd be very happy to do so and bring back information at the next meeting.
I would. I don't know if anyone else is interested.
Normally, if, Chris, you might remind me, I think when we have to purchase land for public use, we take the average of 2 or 3 appraisals, I think. If we're having to, take right of way or whatever. So having a couple would give us, at least a couple give us a better idea, I think, be a fair representation. I know that costs a little more, but I guess that's one of the reasons we're 2 separate entities.
So we'll get hopefully get some follow-up on that at the next meeting.
And I mean, and if we, I don't know what the timetable it is. It sounds like a proposal almost came to us tonight to,
That's what we told you we would do.
yeah. So, I don't know where we are in the process, but it would give me a lot more comfort moving forward if I felt that the value placed on this building was something that I could stand behind when I, voted to go forward with the plan based on that value, getting something back from that when if indeed we do decide to move. And one appraisal from one appraiser, gives me much less confidence than if we get something close to the same number from 2 appraisers. So that would be my preference as a board member.
And Chris, you'll take that up with them, Chris?
I'm emailing Mr. Allen at the moment.
He's on it right now.
Thank you.
All right, excellent. Any other questions? No? All right, hearing none. Are there any petitions or communications from staff or otherwise? No? Hearing none. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everyone.